how has sort of a revitalized faith influenced your writing?
Well, I've written 3 scripts that are faith-based. One was on an adaptation of my book, Crossbear, which essentially tells the story of what happened to me in the course of my faith, right? In a sort of lighthearted way. There's a lot of humor in it. And then I wrote a piece about Our Lady of Guadalupe, who is revered worldwide. And I think it's a really moving and interesting script. And then I wrote this script with Mel Gibson, the Maccabees, right? But none of the 3 sold, and none of the 3 scripts sold. And I think it's very difficult to sell them. And I'd certainly like to do more because it's very close to my heart. But I was discouraged in terms of trying to get these made. I read a piece saying that Mark Burnett and Roma Downey, who did, the Son of God in the Bible, are looking for other pieces of a faith-based nature. And I'll try to talk to them and see if they're interested in this, but it's very difficult.
Why do you think that is? Because you see a country that is so into their faith and church and God, and it seems like it would be a huge market. Is it a fear of Hollywood? Is it a commercial fear? What do you think? Why is it so difficult?
I think the evidence is, commercially, that faith-based scripts can make a lot of money. I mean, if you look at God Isn't Dead, for example, recently, very small picture, and it wound up making $80 million, right? And incidentally, it's good. It's not badly done. Commercial values are good. Not all of them have been, but this one is, and it made $80 million. I think there's an anti-Christian prejudice in Hollywood. I really do. Now let's go to the bottom line. I really think there is, and they don't want to make them, and it's tough to convince them to make them. And maybe with the success of these other things, like God is not dead, and the Bible and the Son of God, and Noah in some ways, which did $400 million worldwide. Maybe that'll change, and I certainly hope it does.
And how did you connect with Mel Gibson to start working on the Maccabees project?
He came to me. I wrote the script about Our Lady of Guadalupe, and he somehow got a hold of it as a director, right? And then he came to me and he said, "I want to talk to you. I don't want to do Our Lady of Guadalupe, but I have an idea. So can you come down here and talk to me?" So I did. And then he laid it out, and I thought it was an interesting story. I didn't know. I'm Catholic, so I'm not the most scholarly person about the Bible, because Catholics have this thing where they're not really that much into Scripture. Right? And so I didn't know that story very well, but Mel laid it out to me, and he said, "Read it," and I did. And we got together again, and I said, "I think this is an absolutely wonderful story, and a great human drama, and it's a great Jewish story in terms of heroism and all of that, with people putting their lives on the line."
I was saying, could you just explain a little bit about what the Maccabees are?
The Maccabees were a family, Mattathias Maccabee, and his son Judah and his brothers, who during in around 350 before Christ, during a Greek occupation, rose up and rose the people in Judea up, not to allow their faith and their religion to be destroyed by the Greeks, and they literally staged a freedom fight that's unparalleled in the history of the world. And they rallied people around them, and all of that, and ultimately they were triumphant over the Greeks, and who were as bad as ISIS is today in terms of the Jews, and they triumphed, and they beat the Greeks out of there. And essentially they did it as a family, as a band of brothers, who did this fight. So, I thought this was a wonderful story, and for a lot of personal reasons, I want to do this story. My greatest hurt, my greatest pain with it is that I thought I wrote a really terrific script. And because he came to me and said, let's do this, I can't do it myself. He has the script, right? And so it's frozen in some drawer, and I'm not sure there's a chance that we'll ever get it out of there.